Okay, so we've taken the backing plate off. That just comes off with a few 12mm headed bolts. So you pop that off. You can pop it off with the cam cover on because it's just a seal that goes over the top. Now to get the water pump off, there is two 14mm headed bolts here, which is a bracket for the alternator. And then if you've got a turbo model, so not a 1HZ in other words, there's some turbo coolant lines, and on 79's a power steering line. So these are on little clips here, and there's also, if you can see there's a bolt there that holds the clamp on. So we can't actually remove this without removing that bolt. So I've just pulled the compressor off, which isn't that hard, just to get to this bolt here, which sounds like a bit of a pain in the ass, but you can get it in through here, but getting it back on again will just be a nightmare. So pulling the compressor off takes all of a minute and frees up a lot of space. We also got to do a thermostat on this anyway, so having no compressor there really opens up that area. What we'll do is we'll loosen the bottom of the alternator, swing the alternator down, and we can get to that thermostat housing later on. So now that that clamps off, we should get enough play in it to remove. We might have to loosen some other stuff. We'll have a bit of a play and we'll get that off. Okay, so I've got the new cam seal in. I use, she's a bit old, but Loctite 567 I think it is. It's a Teflon paste. I put that around all the outside of my seals because seals can leak around the outside. Then I put some grease on the inside of the seal because these don't come pre-greased. So if your seal doesn't come pre-greased, make sure you always put grease in there. And then I've got some goo there and goo down the bottom there. This is just to sort of keep out dust, so it's not very important, and just to stop vibration. The bolts for this one are there. Almost forgot, we got the new water pump on there. To do these lines, we just undid these clamps here and then pulled up the lines with a bit of tension and then put the water pump in and out.
Would you like another free hand?
I think I got it. I think it goes here.
Yeah, it goes there.
Just make sure that's seated correctly. This, as you can see, is really thin aluminium, and even something as small as a piece of foam will snap this if you try to torque it down over it. So all your lines and everything, make sure they're all on correctly. And we'll put this on. Those ones are way too low of a torque to use a torque wrench. It's also going into aluminium, so be pretty cautious. So we got a brand new tensioner wheel, idler wheel, sorry. I put a little bit of grease in there, just a little bit, not much. And then you got this washer. Okay, so the cam bolt is torqued, so we didn't have to remove the rocker cover. We managed to slip this on without having to remove it. It was a bit of a pain in the ass to get the seal in there, but it did work. Whether it seals or not is the jury's still out on that one, but should be alright. Now to torque this bolt up, I rattle it up. 72 foot-pounds, so my rattle gun more than capable of doing that. I'm pretty good with my rattle gun, but I've just stuck a screwdriver in there and react against the cover bolt here, and that works really well. Yeah, as I say, it's only 72 foot pound, so it's pretty good. So now we'll put the cam belt on. So what we have to do is get the cam belt on this side to be nice and tight. Okay. Now, I'll rock this back a little bit. So that belt is nice and tight here. It's obviously going to be loose here because the tension is not on. Our injector pump is still on its BDC marking, and the cam belt is fully up. So we're nice and taut here, which means we're not going to have any issues there. If your entire tooth out, it'll be really, really loose because you can see the belt will move about 10 mil per tooth. So it's pretty hard to fuck up, to be honest. Now we're going to just confirm that that bolt there is tight. It should be tight from factory, but we'll just confirm. Yep, she's tight. Alright, so now that's tight. That one's like that. Now we just pull the pin out. Bing! It's as easy as that. So now that's taut. That's tight there. So what we do now is we'll turn the engine 2 rotations to get back to where we are now, and we will make sure that it still aligns up, which it will, but you don't want to find out when you crank the engine over for the first time. That's not a good idea. So if at any point when you're turning this over it starts to lock up, that means you're hitting valve. So we're at TDC now, which I can confirm on the crank, so we're pretty good there, but like I say, it's easier to check everything at TDC. Almost there. Alright, so we are bang on the mark here, and the injector pump there, we are bang on there. So I'm happy with that. We're a fraction out on the cam, but that'll simply just be a little bit here. Very nice. Happy with that. Nice and taut, nice and taut. Tensioner is out. We are in business. So now we just need to put the cover plate back on. We're going to go a step further and, like I say, do the thermostat, but that's not related to this. So that's it, guys. Pretty much just got to put your fan and radiator shroud back in, fill it up with coolant, and good to go. Thanks for watching. Hope it was some help, and I'll see you later.